Good
Come
evening.
on
Come
in this
in.
booth.
Yes, come on in. Put the kisses in the comments, like, share, and even tag somebody in the comments who needs to pop on in.
Yes,
Got a
yes,
great
yes,
show.
yes. I am excited. I
Me
am
too.
excited for the
I'm so
tonight
excited.
show. You know
Mhm.
what? I need to go I should have had my red hat on or
Oh
like some
yeah.
red lipstick or something. I
I
want
can't wear the red lipstick. I haven't mastered it yet. I don't know what I'm
yeah.
doing wrong, but it never looks good on me. I don't know.
No,
Yeah, me
Yeah.
either.
I don't know
we
what
need
I'm
to
doing
talk.
wrong.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Oh Lord, don't do it. Teach me how to wear it right then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red lipstick don't look good on me neither.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes. So you know what? Before we get started, I want to thank Mr. George Saunders.
Hmm.
Yes.
When a man loves a woman,
Okay. All right.
we found out some stuff last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Last week, but last episode. If you did not attend, if you weren't in the house, 2 weeks ago, check out episode 22 to hear that discussion. Check us out on the YouTube channel at Power 52 Official. Please go to Power 52 Official anyway on YouTube and subscribe. Please subscribe. Definitely. We're trying to make some stuff happen over there on YouTube. All right.
Yep. And we
Right.
thank y'all for tuning in with us this season. This is episode 23. And we have one more episode for this season before we start fresh new next year. So if y'all think about if you know anybody who you think should be in the booth, let us know. DM us, let us know who you want to see in the booth, and we'll try to get them on there. But yeah, thank y'all for supporting the Kissing Booth.
Yes, I cannot believe it's almost been a full year. And that's what we can do. We need to come up with some highlights to showcase
Oh, that
on the
would be
next
nice.
show. Exactly. Like
So,
in some bloopers, maybe.
PJ,
Yeah,
that sounds like a you job. That's
I'm gonna send it all to you to edit. Um, let's
Yes.
get into some hot topics.
Mm.
So Jennifer Lopez is allegedly to pay tribute to Whitney Houston at next year's Grammys. So it has been reported that the Grammys intend to pay tribute to Whitney Houston at the award show next year, and they are considering and looking at several different singers for the tribute. So allegedly, Jennifer Lopez has been asked to perform some of Whitney's hits, which has social media up in an uproar. Um, so,
It
um,
got me in an uproar right up here in this booth, but I'm finished before I give my comment.
exactly. So, adding fuel to the fire. In an alleged recent interview, Lopez wants to sing two of the late singer's most popular songs, "I Have Nothing" and "I Will Always Love You," and is reported to have been saying that her and Whitney Houston's vocal range is similar. So,
What
what are your thoughts on that?
Hey, you know what? I do like J Lo. I mean, she is dope. She can sing, dance, rap in just one show. She gonna come through with the fashions all day long. Like so, I love me some J Lo, but I don't know about her hitting those notes. I'm
No,
just gonna put it out there.
I'ma
exactly.
just say this. I'm an Ashanti fan. And Ashanti was singing her songs. So I don't want to say if you can sing or not. It's like I don't want to do that. But I do like J Lo, and she will have like nice outfits. But J Lo, come on, like there's so many other people that
You
like
know, yes, that can definitely.
Yeah.
that I just don't understand why that was. Yeah, I
So
just
let
hope
me
it's
ask,
fake
who do
news.
y'all think? Who do y'all think? Like Jennifer Hudson.
Anybody,
I think Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
Sheree Brooks could go up there and
You
sing.
know what, baby?
I think she could go up there better than that. But
Rebro, come on. But
yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
not feeling it.
thinking. You know what? It would have been good for Brandy, even though Brandy is not going to give you the notes. However, that she would embody, Whitney Houston. She would bring something because she was a great fan.
Yeah,
Whitney
the
Houston.
relationship and
Yeah.
that would have definitely been. But yeah, J Lo needs to stand back and stand by, like the 45th said. He needs
And look, it looks like somebody else said, which is also a good person, Jennifer Hudson, right?
No,
Like,
that's what I said. Yeah,
yeah,
Jennifer
oh, I thought
Hudson.
you said Brandy.
No, first I said Jennifer
Oh, okay. I
Hudson
was like,
and
I
Brandy.
missed that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
That went right over my head.
hmm
mhm,
It's
yeah.
late. Sorry.
Oh, wait a minute. So Shauna said J Hud, Monica, Fantasia, and a few others.
Oh, Fantasia.
Oh,
Fantasia. Oof.
that would have
Ooh.
been, yeah,
Mhm. But
Mm.
Whitney Houston, especially in her prime, that's a tough act to try.
Yeah.
tough act,
So
baby.
yeah, even
That's
like
why I say J Hud. Definitely. I know she could have rocked that.
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
So y'all, some I guess juicy or hot topics that has been happening in the media is two Good Morning America anchors leave their spouses to be with each other. So
Mhm.
Amy Robach and TJ Holmes have been having an alleged affair for nearly a year now.
Mhm.
Mm.
According to Page Six media outlet, the GM3, so they're on the third hour. Co-anchors have been having an affair with each other since March when they were training together for the New York half marathon. So reporters have caught pictures of them booed up, hugged up,
Mm.
fondling, touching, squeezing each other, and so the both of them have been married to their spouses for 12 years.
What?
And so in August, Holmes separated from his wife. And I'm not sure if Robach, if she's separated from her husband, but they're allegedly estranged. And so her husband removed all pictures of her from his Instagram page.
What?
And both Holmes and Robach both deactivated their Instagram accounts.
Mm.
Wow. Let me just say something. They took work wife and work husband to a whole nother level.
Look, I
Mm.
mean,
Can't nobody top that one. And he said, if you like it, then put a ring on it,
I know,
baby.
but it's like usually it seems like with the men when they have an affair, they usually be like, I'm not leaving my wife. But he said deuces. And I think it's just wild. They both said we leaving our spouses.
Wow.
So they basically said on air, like the other co-hosts, like Roberts and Michael Strahan and George, I can't pronounce his last name, but they're all been acting, in like nothing's going on, and even
Oh
they
my.
when they're on the show, they act like no scandal or anything is going on. So
They
this
Baby,
is
all
on
knew.
the side, they like to.
And they
exactly.
all knew. They all knew.
Well, so they're saying that the people, the producers, and all that didn't know, and they tried to keep it under wraps, but you
They
know,
knew.
they knew.
You can
Mhm.
feel the chemistry, baby.
Yeah, so
Ah,
I'm interested if they're gonna make a statement or see how this all pans out.
I can't
So
wait.
yeah, so social media is calling for the cancellation of Balenciaga.
Oh
Mm.
my
So
God. Say more.
her,
Okay, you know what? Let me ask this real quick.
mhm,
What is up with Balenciaga? Like, I'm gonna let you tell the story, but I just want to know: does Kanye has everybody keeps going after Balenciaga? So go ahead and let the people know what's going on. But I just definitely needed to put that out there.
yeah, I don't know Balenciaga. I think maybe they try to do stuff to stay in the media, stay relevant. But so earlier in November, Balenciaga released their holiday ad, which featured children holding plush bear bags. So they're like purses, but they look like teddy bears. Um, Wearing the bondage harnesses and costumes of like the dominatrix type of stuff. And so, though the children were fully clothed in the ad and they were just holding little bags, social media said that it was promoting pedophilia and child exploitation. So, TikTok and Twitter have been saying hashtag cancel Balenciaga and started that campaign. And
Mm.
so, What are y'all thoughts? I, I, I'm a little. I'm like, I don't think it's as bad. I think it's definitely a reach. They were saying the pedophilia and all that
Mm-hmm.
because the children weren't dressed in all that stuff. I don't know. Sometimes I
But
think that
but let me ask this: but was it an adult bag or was it a child's bag? Like, what
it
was it
was.
supposed
I
to be?
believe it's just a bag. I don't know if they specified for adults or children.
Children.
I'm
Uh-huh.
it's probably just a
But
bag, and
they
they
had children posed it with it. Yeah.
posing with them. So they're
Yeah.
like holding them. I don't know. I think they.
They may be reaching because they want to cancel Balenciaga because maybe it has something to do with Kanye too. Who knows? Because all of that.
Mhm.
Did you hear Kanye had bought up all the Balenciaga that he could put his hands on and had it like labeled with something? I think yay or something like that.
Oh
Did
no!
y'all see that? Oh
I
yeah,
didn't hear
he
that.
bought up warehouses of Balenciaga and had it labeled, branded with yay, like YE, and
Mhm.
said that he was going to sell it all for $20 a pop. Yes, so
So
that anybody could buy it.
oh
Mm.
wow, because I thought I heard that Balenciaga was thinking about making a deal with Kanye to bring back like the Yeezys and stuff like that.
Mm.
And like I heard that like Kim Kardashian was like, "Oh, if they do that, I'm pulling my support for Balenciaga." So I don't
Mhm.
know. It's so many
So for
different.
me, yeah, like I don't know if they're reaching or not, but it's always funny to me. So that world is not my world. Like I've never been in like the acting, the fashion. They live on a whole different bracket, and it's always interesting when these stories come out about like maybe them drugging. They live in like doing all types of drugs, and so
Mhm.
I don't know. Are they reaching? Are they really hitting on something? Because why are children used for like
Yeah, that's what
like
I
I think
wasn't
Trauma
understanding.
mentioned for the advertisement. I mean, like it's just weird. It's weird. I don't know if that's actually what their purpose of it was for, but to kind of use, yeah, to use the children. mm,
Oh,
I don't
look. So, even Shauna just said the Kardashians have pulled their support due to the
know.
BDSM
Wow.
scandal. Wow.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
She
our
said,
last hot topic for tonight. Dwayne Wade and his ex-wife are in a legal battle over the name of their child.
mm,
So, Dwayne Wade's ex-wife, I think it's pronounced Soyvon Funches, began a lawsuit to stop Wade from legally changing their 15-year-old transgender child's name and gender. So their daughter, which is transitioning from being a male to a female, legal name is Zion, but now goes by Zaya. Um, Funches believes um, that Wade is trying to influence their child for monetary gain and says that she wants Zaya to wait until her 18th birthday to decide for herself whether she wants to legally change her name and gender. And Wade first announced Zaya's transition in February 2020 when she was 12 years old at the time. And in an interview with Robin Roberts, Dwayne Wade claims that Zaya has known her true gender identity since she was 3 years old. So,
Mhm.
what do y'all feel about that situation?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm with the mother. I would say, just hope. And then once you become 18, then you can, go ahead, and make
'Cause-
your
yeah.
decisions. It's like even with tattoos, I'm not letting my kids get no tattoos while they are under the age of 18. Once they turn 18 and they can do their own thing. But for now, while your brain is still developing and all these things are still happening, I just kind of feel like you should, be an adult and making adult decisions. Definitely support your kid and whatever they want to do. But some things you don't have to do everything right now. And
Mhm.
I mean, that's with anything, that I tell my kids, like, look, when they're 12, they might want to wear makeup. No, well, what do you want to do when you're 14 or 16? So at the end of the day, it's just like, look, we have to ease our kids into maturing. And so that's just my take on it. What do you think, Love?
I tried because they say if you don't have kids, you shouldn't speak on kids. I don't have no kids, so guess what? I believe it that I don't have any kids, so I ain't even gonna tell nobody how to do with their
Okay.
kids.
Yeah,
I'm not getting canceled
agree.
like Balenciaga. That's what's
Yeah,
not going.
You
I
said you
definitely,
got.
I
Uh-huh.
agree. I think you definitely wait until that she's 18 because you can make your own decision, and then that way, whatever changes or have different perspectives or whatever the case may be, you can't say, "Oh, he did this," or blame the parent, and you can just say that's their decision and that's what they did, and the consequences fall on them because you made that decision. So
Exactly. And so Lisa says, I have a friend whose mother let her get a gold tooth at 15. As an adult, she removed and said her mother shouldn't have let her do it. Yeah. Sometimes, when they do these gold teeth, they gotta shave down the tooth and all
Mhm.
this. And
Right.
so, it's just a trend or a fad or whatever. So, I just say, what? Let them inch into doing some things. But you know what? Let's inch into this show.
yeah.
Because we might want Jordan to weigh in on this. So you know what? Let's get this show started, y'all.
All right, we back. We back. We back. We back. And I really want to read this bio, so you guys just bear with me because there is a lot of meat in this bio that I really want you guys to hear. So Pastor Jordan Cairo Brown is the youngest of three siblings who hails directly from Baltimore, Maryland. He is an active force in the LGBT community of Baltimore and New York City, where he relocated 4 years ago. Brown has aided several local and national organizations and projects by serving as a public advocate, advisor, administrative assistant, project manager, producer, and sponsor in the background for several different projects in the LGBTQ as well as heterosexual communities of Baltimore City, as well as New York City and other surrounding areas. Brown currently serves as one of the founding members of Meet for a Cause, Inc. Meet for a Cause is a community based organization that caters to and serves homeless, displaced, impoverished, and at risk LGBTQ teens and adolescents between the ages of 12 to 25 in Baltimore City. Brown also serves as the founder and visionary of Renewed Sundays Ministry, a new faith movement that fully nurtures, welcomes, heals, and embraces all genders, all sexualities, all races, and creeds who desire healing and an intimate relationship with God, where in other places could not find him because of trauma, hurt, and misjudgment. Brown has publicly been recognized, endorsed, sponsored, and interviewed and awarded by numerous individuals, organizations, and media platforms. He is a man with a greater vision for the community in which he has dedicated his tireless energy, life, and resources to. Brown has proven to be self driven, passionate, transparent, and authentic. He is determined to support change not only in the LGBTQ community, but but in the underserved communities throughout the world. Pastor Brown lives by the motto, this is not about a check or a platform, because at the end of the day, this is what we were all created to do until all have heard. And so without further ado, let's bring him on into the booth.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for jumping in the booth. If for those who don't know, what is today? Tell them, Cairo, what is today?
Today is
Uh
World AIDS Day. On lives that were lost, and we honored the lives who are still living AIDS. Um, and yeah, World AIDS Day 2022.
That's right. So we want to give a shout out. Definitely. So guys, listen. We invited I call him Jory and he goes by Cairo, but we invited him into the booth today because number one, it just so happened to be World's AIDS Day, right? I just want to make sure I get it correct. but also for him to tell and share his story. And so, with Cairo, he is. What are your pronouns? Tell everyone about your background, because I want to be politically correct, and then I want to get into the conversations. We want to have a candid conversation tonight. So, just give us that part. What are your pronouns, and how do you like to be addressed?
I'm usually addressed by Cairo. My pronouns is he, him. Just a church boy. Y'all know
Okay.
me. So, so yeah,
Okay. Okay. So basically, her, him, I mean, him, you said he, him, right?
he, him. Yes.
Okay. He, him. Okay. And
Mhm.
so, guys, listen. So, Cairo is, is it correct to say a gay male? Is that
Okay.
correct to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And we
Yes.
wanted to have him here so that we know, you see how I'm, gingerly, approaching the questions, because so many people are, afraid to have these candid conversations because they don't know how to ask someone about their pronouns, or they don't know to ask someone, how they are addressed. So you don't want to be, everything we do here at Power 52 is inclusive. And so we felt it to be important that we share, this candid conversation, so that, someone may go onto a job site, or someone may, meet someone in passing at the grocery store, and, they don't know how to approach different conversations and things like that. So along the way with Cairo expressing or telling us about his background and his story and all of that, we will be talking about how to address people who are different than you. And so I just want to put that out there. So tell us, what was your upbringing like in Baltimore City?
My
You said church
was
boy. Tell us about that.
my upbringing was I'm the youngest of three brothers. Single mom, and um married at a certain time. Um, and we were raised in the church. Like I said, it was a little different. So like navigating, who I kind of like, because when you're younger, you kind of like don't know who you are, but you know what you feel. My upbringing was just like about like church. So we grew up in the projects. So it was a lot about I guess um, who I felt like I had to be, or who showed a certain strength as a young black man. Until and every Sunday was church, and um, during the week it was, you know family stuff, and that was
Mhm.
basically it.
And
It
so,
was very big.
and so
Yeah.
being the youngest of all these boys, do you are your brothers? Do you have any brothers who identify as a gay male? Or if
No,
not, how did you even? So you're in church. How did you even approach? Like, I'm different. Like, what was that like? How did you know?
well, I found kind of like I kind of like always was kind of like attracted to men. I just thought I was like, I had a spirit on me. I was like trying to kind of like pray it away. I'm raised that homosexuality is wrong. And so on my little village, LGBTQ people, where they sort of like help navigate me into who I am, or um, help me to learn who I am. Like, you're not a disease. You're not. You're human. And that's sort of like kind of like how I found myself and grew into myself. Uh, like transitioning to being open, and it had its struggles, it had its challenges, um, but through those things. So yeah.
So did you feel like closeted at any point? What was the moment that you felt like I need to tell somebody, like that you were really open with someone about how you felt and how you were attracted? Like, who made you feel safe in that space?
Sort of like the community. I never really officially like kind of like came out. I was kind of like everything. So I guess people seeing pictures of me posting, partners, and I didn't really feel like I had to come out because you look on Facebook, you look on social, you see two men hugged up, kissing or hugging. You're smart enough to know that. So I didn't
Mm,
really have to come out to to my family. They started to see it, and I turned around, and you know, some was receptive to it, and the others, not so. I still remain who I was regardless, and
well, that was very brave because that was my next question.
yeah.
Was your family supportive of your lifestyle, and did they even address it, or was it when you came around, it was like the elephant in the room, like we're not going to talk about it? How did the church people address or support you in that?
Um, I definitely had some battles with people saying you need to get delivered. God don't agree with that. Then I had some people who at the end of the day, the church is going to be the church. Family is going to be family, be who you are, regardless of what people think or whatever, regardless of people's opinion.
Mhm.
And the people who I had surrounded around me who were LGBTQ people, sort of like kind of like gay tours or whatever,
Mhm.
or gay mothers. It's a short pose, and it
Mm.
was sort of like that.
Yeah.
And
So is that
who
true?
helped like
Because I watched Pose. So is the community like the underground community, and is all the aspect of Pose, is that real life?
it was, but now it's more mainstream. Even celebrities are like kind of like voguing, and ballroom is sort of like the it thing now. Back
Mm,
then it was like people who were put out their homes, people who ran away, and people who were just looking for family or a village and needed genuine. So that's sort of like how the ballroom shape was created. But now it has evolved, and people, you have people in ballroom who have made careers out of it, doing great things and doing great strides. And now, so it's more, it's pose, certain parts of pose, so show the impoverished parts of how it was back then. Now
okay.
it's like kind of like kind of like good now, and it just a lot of people are doing it for fun and careers
Hmm.
and it's true. Yes.
Yeah, so I do know that in Pose, and for you guys haven't seen Pose, check it out. I think you can find it on Hulu or Netflix or something like that. The reruns, I think it'll be coming back. Well, it'll be coming back on, right? But at any rate, it will definitely give you a huge insight on the community. From it starts, I think, in the late '80s up until
Yeah.
present time, and it definitely. I mean, it's always interesting to see how a lot of males, because usually they kind of like focus on the men, were coming out about their sexuality, and their parents were kicking them out on the street. So these were like 15-year-olds, and they all went to the streets. But the older ones would kind of become the mothers and wrap their arms around them, and they would all live as a family in the house. So, and so a lot of this, and it's based in New York City. And so, that being the case, I know, Cairo, you are located in New York City.
Yeah.
What you do is, what made you just take up and kind of go to New York?
Um, not being able to, you know, I was doing like great things in Baltimore working, but sort of like I was kind of like lacking, kind of like honesty within myself. Black, gay, know, not dealing with certain traumas in my life. I was sort of like I kind of like became like a hero for everybody, but I wasn't dealing with my own stuff. So
Mhm.
I feel like, but one thing I learned is that sometimes when we run away, God finds us, and
Mhm.
so church totally, and I was dealing with so because I was afraid people would find out my flaws because I was seen as perfect. I was seen as like a good mentor. Kyra was a good as a director. I didn't want people to kind of figure me out, so I put so many problems, and I thought just moving to another city was just. I packed a bag. I've got some money, and people didn't know where I went, and I didn't reveal that I was in New York until like 6 months later. People was looking for me,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was like I met some great people here, and I was like I need to stay here.
Mhm.
Ended up in New York by just running away from my problems.
Wow. So
And
did you
it
have
wasn't.
friends or family there? Because
Yeah, I had.
I know you said you were homeless for a while. Was that when you went to New York or while you were here?
Yeah, because I didn't have a backup plan. So what I did is I spent all my money in a hotel. I was doing a lot of
Mhm.
promiscuous things,
Mhm.
and I had a friend who, if you're positive, because I'm HIV positive, you can get an apartment. Is that it was sort of like a single room occupancy. That's what it's called, and it helped you get an apartment. So I signed up, and so I didn't really have. I was just trusting, and I left because I didn't have no money. So I left, and I ended up there, and I stayed there for like a few weeks, and I was like, no, this ain't for me, And I ended up going to streets again, and then I
Mhm.
got tired, and I ended up going back to the SRO, like navigate get my life together. It helped me get off of drugs, helped me to get my part on the job, and that's sort of like from there everything kind of like.
Mhm. So, and so I know you just revealed to us that you're HIV positive. And so with that, when I know, okay, so when did you find out? And how, did you feel about that? So at that point, did you feel like I'm at rock bottom? So now you've been homeless and now you found out you're HIV positive, you know, tell us about that.
So like always, so I'll go here and hopefully it all comes together. So I
Mhm.
was like, and sort of like when I became positive, it opened my eyes about how involved in people, but it's not so much involved where it's helping people become valued, and so when I became positive, I was doing like a lot of serving in the church, but I was doing like a lot of promiscuous things for cyber because I was trying to be, I was on my own, and I was doing like a lot of things for cyber, but still serving in the church, and nobody knew I was in 2013, and I remember one day and I wasn't taking my medication or anything, so I got really really sick, and while I was serving in the church, nobody visited me, no
Mhm.
bishops, elders, preachers, people. Nobody visited me, but like kind of like three families, Christine, and my best friend, my best Kevin, um,
Mhm.
and his three people who only visited me, out of my family, um, and I was like, I'm serving, and and I'm going to church, and I'm supporting, you know, sick and and dying. and feeling lonely, and nobody's visiting me.
Mhm.
And through that kind of like made it where kind of like I kind of like was like still involved in church, but I kind of like I didn't take it as serious. And I started
Mhm.
serving, and my attention went more into the LGBT community, where I felt like people who have sort of like the same needs I have, because I was still struggling.
Mhm.
But some when we have pain, you know, and we're going through stuff, we still are going through the same pain,
Mhm.
and and sometimes that's just real. There was a certain time where I wasn't, you know, um, I didn't have anything but say like $185 a month from public assistance. But
Mhm.
I was using my money, and then I didn't have no money to feed myself. Because through that, I saw God was like kind of like shifting me and helping me. And
Mhm.
my struggle, it opened a lot of doors for me, because even while I was going through those things, I was always sort of like an iron person, an honest person. I became honest with myself, but I didn't become fully honest. So certain things out. So that's where I was. I was honest, but I was leaving certain things out. So I did this organization, but I was leaving the part of me being on drugs out. I was in
Mhm.
how I was going, but I was leaving a part of me doing promiscuous things. That feel, it was kind of like
Mhm.
it wasn't. It wasn't until I moved to New York where I learned to become whole myself, and
Mhm.
through that God
Mhm.
manifested
Right.
those
So
things.
it's kind of like you
Well,
weren't being
yeah.
you weren't being 100% genuine, owning your truth. Like, hold
Yeah,
on now, I'm doing this, but it's kind of counteractive to where I'm trying to, go in the
yeah,
direction that I'm trying to go. Because it's kind of like you got 2 feet, and and a lot of us do that. You know, you're saying, okay, I feel stuck. Okay, so let's talk about this. So I heard you say a couple of things. You were positive, and there's assistance out there for people who are positive. So you were able to get into a program. They helped you out with a place to stay, and all that. So these are the resources that we want to kiss the community with tonight. So tell us about that. How do people access these programs, and what resources are out there for individuals who, maybe HIV positive, maybe, gay, and just homeless, trying to find their way.
yeah. So I know Baltimore, because you all in Baltimore has prevention programs, a lot of case management programs. But New York, program system is excellent. They have a lot of largest um, uh, resources place. A lot of people who become positive actually move to resources. They have something called HASA, um, and they'll literally just give you money, just and help you find your way and give you housing just because you're positive. I know that kind of like sounds a little like, but they, New York is an awesome place if you want to, if you're going through something. I work for an organization where I do HIV prevention, and I'm a peer navigator, and I do HIV. I do HIV testing. I do referral service. I refer and just talk to people. And even when I'm talking to my clients, I'm actually sharing, because it there's a lot of people who kind of like work in fields, but they can't identify with the field, and so therefore like your services aren't really that effective. But the
Mhm.
client feels it's client when you really kind of like are transparent with them, because if it's sort of like if
Yeah, when
if
you have
the
a
house,
story to tell.
yeah. So I so me and my so I do a lot of like a lot of relationship building. We talk, and we keep key. I don't be like, we talk like, how you doing, how you feeling, you look fab today. Hey, let's talk, let's have a conversation, let's get to know one another. So therefore the approach
Mhm.
is more effective, and they feel like they belong, they feel significant. Because a lot of people really are looking for significance. When people are struggling and when people are going through stuff, and people have struggled for a long time, like a person
Mhm.
who is out here, making money, even though they may not want to know how to make money. They know how to get money for their bills, but they don't want to. But they don't want to go to the people don't really care. People aren't passionate. A lot of people just do the work, but they aren't passionate about doing the work.
Right.
That we do isn't
Mhm.
effective because people aren't passionate. People
Mhm.
want to be significant. People aren't looking for service. But when you allow people to be significant, that's when they come in. Okay, let me come over to like this side a little bit, so I won't have to be on that side. And I can
Mhm.
say that because that's how I like talk to people. Because you know, to be honest with people, because just because you're honest don't mean people gonna just be
Oh yeah.
genuinely.
Yeah.
So,
And that's kind of like
um,
what we do here in Power 52. It's like you have to be genuine. You have to be create an environment that people feel comfortable with you so they are willing to be vulnerable and then start to change.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. PJ.
Yeah. So, because I know you grew up in church and all that. So, um, so basically, what made you start? Like, when and where and why did you start Renewed Sundays? And just give a little context on that.
well, Renew Sundays was birthed out of kind of like pain, and having, well, not seeing people, but having conversations with people, meeting people, and having a conversation with pain, and me asking friends of mine, come to church with me. When I like started going back to church, and they said, I can go to trans or so I'll go here. I was serving for certain. I'm not going to say a name because I don't want to get sued. In New York under a certain uh, bishop who well known, and the ministry is pretty effective in community. But I was seeing a lot of LGBTQ people come there. They weren't giving any attention. They weren't giving any help. They weren't again, and people would just be like looking at them. Or I would see them come in and they would sit in the back of the church, and
Mm-hmm.
and then you won't see them come back again. And it made me kind of like start making these people feel loved. Are we allowing these are these people, because the church is a place where, so we allowing these people to feel significant, or they just like coming. So at home, um with my former partner, and I was like, um I do stuff for the community, for LGBT services, for outreach, but I want to do something for as far as the church. Want me back into, either I was serving, I felt like he was drawing me back into more like a as far as like to like I want to share. So I started to have like um and at the kickbacks we would have like we would play gospel music, and we would have like kind of like food, some chicken, salad and stuff, just some regular stuff, pizza, something, and we would just be talking about God and their trauma. People talking about how the church has affected them, how they don't feel like they budge, and I started to see the pain of people, and I started to see like a lot of people looking for belonging, and I got father as a kid. I had a conversation with him, and I want to just inside the church and allow people to feel what's lacking in the church. Thought is when I first started Renew is, I hope I'm not getting too far off topic, but what people thought is they that I was starting in a gay church. It was a church, I was trying to build a church, a place, a safe space for everybody, where space and everybody feels equal. Everybody feels welcome. Nobody's looking at you like you funny, and you can be trans, you can be gay, um, you can be elderly, you can be the woman, with kids, you be a married couple, and everybody feels the same. Everybody feels valued. and that's how Renewed Sunday. I kind of like lost a lot of friends, and peers, ministry peers, because I was starting a gay church. And so it went through a painful birthing process. People who I supported, who were talking about the goodness of the Lord, and I'm just like, just because I'm doing something, you say, oh no, I can't support that, or how I always say, because I'm real, I always say the church F word is God bless. People will say God bless you, instead of saying I help you, I want to help you, or we say agree to disagree conversation. Sometimes it's like, oh, God bless you, and then you won't hear from them again. And so it's kind of like and even with Renew, I shouldn't people. But one thing I learned is when you do it for real, God would send people, and who were kind of like executive directors. He started to send people who were working in outreach. That's how kind of like it's an article out about me, about my story and me building the faith movement. Did an interview with me, and everything, and God kind of like started to expose me to I know that I started out with like probably like 5 members, and now we have like probably um so we have three. Okay, we're in Baltimore, Atlanta, and in New York. Or we have about 100 members. In New York we have about 50 members. In Atlanta we have about like 200 and something members. And we have different pastors everywhere. I'm just I can't be everywhere. So what we do is we build teams, and we build people who who feel like this works for them, who are looking for belonging, and they sort of are that the leader of that city. Um,
Wow.
and because we want to make sure that we're hands on, and we just had balls. So like what you see in polls, we've had a crab feast. Because one thing about the members, they say a lot, is that we're real. Like just praising God, loving on God, and then we'll have a cookout, and we playing hip hop. We have to be realistic. Nobody want to come to go to church and then be in church for hours, and then be going to have something like the fellowship hour and hearing a bunch of gospel music. I mean, if that works, we have our different mechanisms, but I know what works for Renew. So people will come. People like this is cool, and because you have to meet people where they are. So we have drug dealers, we got people, we got baby mamas, we got married couples, we got people who are going, people who's speaking in tongues and shouting in church, and we got people who've never been in church, who come off the streets, who just came from working a set, or prostituting. I tell them, if you want to come, we may put a little towel around you or something, but come on through. We gonna love you. So that's what we do. We treat people like family, who like they belong, and that's what the church should be, and that's what the church should. But sometimes I think in the church, a lot of times, even a preacher is looking for significance. So they find significance in bullying people. But we're all seeing, God sees us all the same. He doesn't bully people. He say, in love and kindness have enjoyed thee. We have to let people be people, and we have to just love them through their process. So that's what and the name was like kind of like birth of be not transformed, but be renewed on the mind, to survival. They adapt to the world. They adapt to who they think they have to be, rather than who renewed meets you where you are, and we try to get to know you. Sort of like I'll talk to you, and we try to kind of like an approach, like this is who God called you to be. This greater in you. So and people, they leave services in tears, and they leave services with their hands up. They come in there a little ratchet and crazy, and while I'm telling you, some of my, but they all have a reverence for God, and we try to like kind of like bully people, police people. If you would be an example for those people and love those people, and God will work it out with them. So and yeah,
Well, that's good. Okay, pretty much that's it. And so, definitely, we want to thank you for sharing this information because, I think it's conversations like this that need to be had.
yeah,
What do you think, PJ?
No, definitely, definitely. It in for church, this is a touchy topic, but you know, it's definitely a conversations that all churches probably do need to have a conversation about, even if say you don't support the lifestyle, but you don't support the lifestyle, and you can stick to your convictions, but still treat people with love and kindness and things like
Right.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, we're taught that you have to plant the seed and let the Holy Spirit do the rest. That's
that.
it. It's
yeah.
not
Because
for you.
people are literally dying, and I see people who are dying, and sometimes where's the church? Why these people are dying? The
Mhm,
church is talking about and preaching against certain things and against, and they just need you to love on them. And
mhm,
sometimes they need a conversation because sometimes people they live certain types of ways because that's all they know.
mhm.
You know
Yeah, but
that no,
sometimes
yeah,
people don't even know what they don't. I mean, different generations, they're gonna, act according to whatever generation they have lived up,
yeah,
grew up and how their parents, handled certain situations. But it's time that we, as a human race, definitely not judge, but be inclusive in everything that we do. You can give the information, don't beat it down somebody's throat, but definitely use information as a resource and offer it to people and let them, pick away at it and use it to how they see fit for their life. And so
Mhm.
this is why we
yeah,
definitely wanted, to open this door to have a conversation with you so that we can even open, let the world know that, hey, at Power 52, and what they're doing, it's a space for you, even, and what we're doing. We don't exclude anyone. We're very inclusive, and we want to kiss all communities with the resources, because just like I'm sure there's so many people out there who may be positive, who may not know that there are resources out there to help them help stand their lives up. Someone who may be on drugs, someone who may be, struggling. So at the end of the day, we want to be able to help everyone. And so if this conversation can help someone, reboot and, what we say, be resilient in all
Mhm.
yeah.
situations, then that's what we want to do. And so we definitely thank you for coming on. I don't know, is there any new projects or anything that you have going on that you want to spotlight? Any, anything that you may be offering, that if someone is in need, that they can contact you and your organization and get involved. Now is the
Well,
time.
we're moving into our new building this upcoming Sunday. It's in
Right.
it's in Queens. We were in Brooklyn. We were renting in Brooklyn, but we're moving to a new space, and that's good. I mean, we have a lot of things. We aren't doing too much, but we have a lot going on that we're planning for the spring and summer of 20. And they can find me on Facebook, Cairo Brown, um, um, or IG Cairo, the IG page Renewed Sundays, and know, I post stuff of stuff we're doing, and yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So listen, before you go, PJ has some hot seat questions for you.
All right, all right. Over east or over west?
Oh, over east. I'm from the east side.
All right, crab cakes or New York slice pizza?
Oh, I love pizza. I love pizza.
Okay.
That piece is good.
Yeah.
Baltimore or New York?
Oh, Baltimore. Baltimore
That's
all the way.
right.
All right. Row home or brownstone?
Daphne Brownstone. Yeah. Brownstone.
He loving New York. These are some New York.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Mondawmin Mall or Delancey Street?
Uh, definitely Delancey. My dom and yeah, too much commute.
So, would you rather have a nosy neighbor or a loud neighbor?
It depends on my mood. It depends on what I want to tolerate. Maybe may, it depends. Nosy is better because I like my sleep. So I like my sleep.
Okay. Okay. So, would you rather be in a taxi, take a taxi cab or the subway?
Taxi. Yeah.
Okay. Times Square or the Inner Harbor?
Times Square.
Um,
Second that
on a,
emotional shade.
on a Sunday
Yeah.
morning, would you rather be in civic attire or casual?
Oh Lord, Civic is so uncomfortable sometimes. I love some jeans.
Counties or boroughs?
Burrows.
Okay.
Yeah, Burrows. Yeah.
Steps or stoops?
Steps.
Okay. And last one, tennis or sneakers?
The sneaker. I love the sneaker.
Okay.
Thank you. So, Lo, before we go, tell everyone about Power 52, what it is we do.
Well, we do a lot of things. And so the thing I'm going to talk about is our training program that is at no cost to the community. It's 16 weeks, 80% online, 20% in person. Our next cohort starts February 27th. Go to our website, power52.org /training to fill out the information, and then we will contact you. But like I said, Power 52 does so many other things, right? Like give back to the community. And Tuesday was Giving Tuesday.
Yes.
Um, you definitely shop our store, ways to support Cash App, PayPal, Giveify, Zelle. So please go to our website and check that out.
All right. Okay. All right. Hello. Can y'all hear us? I think we're froze a little bit. All righty. Can anybody hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. I think we're frozen a little bit. So we can end this
Yeah, I'm
thing.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think. Okay. Okay. So, but yeah. So I'm glad we're stuck right here. So y'all can give right now. To support the Power 52, donate to Power 52. Ways to support: Cash App, PayPal, Givelify, Zelle. We make it easy for any option you want to give, and shop our swag. Like you see there, like everybody loves our resilience shirt, the ability to bounce back regardless. Just shop our swag. We got different things, especially for the fall. We got beanies and scullies and hoodies and things like that. Um, so definitely go and shop our swag to
There
support.
we go. I
There
don't
we
know what happened to L'Oreal, but nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and I guess we just have to abruptly end the show tonight. I'm sorry, guys, but L'Oreal must have had some.
I'm
Oh,
back.
there
I'm
she
back. I'm
is.
back. I don't know what just happened. Okay, that has never happened in the history. I don't know what. Y'all, I'm freaking out. But
But,
yes, I'm so
but you
sorry.
know what? It doesn't matter because in 2023, we will be revamped. So, all of you guys who love to get in the booth, hang in there. We will be revamped for 2023. But are we okay to take our pictures, Lo?
I, yes, I think we're good to go now.
Okay, let's try to get some pictures. She's going to count us down. We're going to do three on the count of three.
And
Three
we're
to
gonna do them quick, okay? Because I don't know what's going on.
okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3, pose. All right, 1, 2, 3, pose. 1, 2, 3, pose.
Lo, why we keep doing the
I
same
don't know. 1, 2, 3, pose. Thank you,
All
are.
right,
everyone, for
guys.
bearing
Thank
with
you.
us. Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Cairo, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Yes.
Thank
And to
you. Thank
everyone
you.
in the kissing booth, remember to live. I mean, no, remember life is short.
Yes.
So remember to forgive quickly, love truly, and kiss the communities with your gifts. I'm tongue tied, y'all.
No, it's been a long day.
Technical difficulties messed us
Thank
up.
you. Yeah.
See
Yep.
ya.
Here we go. Difficulties.